First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT. You found us at postwrestling.com, whatever podcast app you're choosing to use. And it's Tuesday, 10:05 p.m., which means
we are live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
hello, all the postmarks worldwide. More importantly, the NXT friends all around the world. Hello today. Today, we pour one out for the Toronto Blue Jays on our show here tonight. We pour one out.
And you know what? We toast the Toronto Blue Jays as well, because to quote one of the best reviews we ever did, Freddie got fingered. We're proud.
We believed, but it was a sad affair in the city of Toronto in the 6 on Saturday. The World Series, Los Angeles Dodgers, just like Kendrick did Drake, they beat us fair and square, sort of.
Yeah, I think the Blue Jays came out looking better than Drake did, though, in this one.
I guess so.
Yeah,
that's definitely okay. But this one had lodged balls. That's what comes to mind when I think of this World Series. But yeah, Toronto, give yourself a pat on the back. But oh man, that was heartbreaking from the city of Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, I got to admit, I'm a bandwagoner. I like to see the city do well, and baseball hasn't been one of my favorite sports. I've made fun of baseball quite a bit because I have found it pretty boring in the past. But this past month, I completely changed my mind, and I feel like I really got to understand the game and just absolutely fell in love with this Toronto Blue Jays team. And, you know, we've been working and living right round by the stadium like for years now at this point. And I've gone to a bunch of games before, but really this whole postseason got so invested. I was watching every single game. I was working a bunch of the games at the bar. And man, by the end of this all, I felt more heartbroken by this loss than I did when England lost the Euros final last year, because England played like shit in that tournament and they didn't deserve it. Whereas I think this time it was like, you saw like this team, it almost felt like watching Ted Lasso. You know, you have this young kid from out of nowhere in Trey Savage who is, you know, pitching in the postseason and the World Series, and his parents are there. Then you've got this old crazy guy with different eyes yelling and screaming and being crazy, and Max Scherzer towards the end of his career, the real Roy Kent of the Toronto Blue Jays. And just like everyone, like we've like got to really like fall in love with this entire team, and it was so exciting. And like that World Series, like I think if you're a neutral, like you'd have loved it, because it really had everything. And for me, I've said this before, I like wrestling because I like stories. For me to get invested into sport, I need a story. I need a narrative. I need someone to root for. I need an underdog story or people chasing records or that kind of thing. And I really thought this whole World Series had it all. So yeah, like I worked both game 6 and 7 at the bar. It was insane. Like if you've been to any of the like wrestling events we've done at Gabby's, we normally sell around 10K on those shifts. We sold 30K in these. Like it was like the busiest shifts I've ever worked. I have come out of the weekend quite severely injured from it all. But man, like the atmosphere for these games, whether it be at the bar I was working, whether it be I was in Ottawa last week for game like 3 and 4, like or just hanging out with you guys, or like everywhere, the atmosphere was just incredible. Walking around this city and seeing everyone in their gear and stuff was awesome. So yeah, really disappointed. The air was sucked out of the room when that game ended, but man, I don't regret anything. I thought it was awesome, and yeah, really proud of the team in this city.
Yeah, I mean, at least it gets the people together. It gets people, going out and celebrating. Like I feel like that's definitely the reason for having all these big old sports teams and fans getting behind it and stuff. But seeing all the city, like in all my life, like this city, I went down for the final game to Nathan Phillips Square, which was like our city hall, and it was bonkers. Like I've been there for New Year's Eve events when I was younger and stuff, but this they had one screen, which was big, but like considering how many people showed up, it was insane. So we had a group of friends and just partied. Everyone was going nuts, and then it happened, and the air just left. Yeah. The soul was taken from Toronto, from California yet again.
We were like literally this close when we with that strikeout at the end there.
Yeah. But GG, good series. It was a lot of fun, especially getting into it and everything. But wow, the city definitely, we would have went crazy if they were to have won. We still, like, the city was jumping when the game was on and for all the other games, but wow, like the city was buzzing. And then it was depressing. What was the slogan? Want it all?
Want it all.
It's like everyone was like, yeah, let's just end it all after this this whole affair. This is why I don't watch real sports. But just how real are these sports? Like I guess, like I said from before we even got to like the World Series, which was crazy. It's almost like you had to see it to believe it. Like when we beat the Yankees, I think that was just like, whoa, hey, look, we beat like a big team. I know people go off about the Yanks and all that, but it was cool to see like this go this far and see the city was completely not prepared for a World Series. And we'll see how the world, the footy, the soccer that comes in the next little while, the city could definitely not be ready for it. But wow, I love to see my people in the city get behind the Blue Jays. So next year, the Birds, they got burst, they got roasted this time around, but it's always next year.
Roll on next year, absolutely.
That's right. I feel like they're going to do well with tickets and stuff. Like after such a big thing, you get people hooked back into it. What's funny is like that I was recently on a trip to Japan, and like Otani's face was absolutely everywhere, to the point where I would find Dodgers stuff, Dodgers jerseys in random stores everywhere. Like of all teams, just Dodgers. And I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to get a Otani Dodgers jersey. Good thing I didn't, because you're not allowed. I feel like if you wore that in Toronto, you're like the biggest deal. Although it's pretty gangster. And Otani Dodgers might be, a baseball equivalent to Jordan or something in the future. But wow, just shocking. So it's still America's pastime, might be Japan's pastime, but congrats to the Dodgers. It was a hell of a series. Definitely got people going, got people invested. So we'll see you next year for sure. Roll on. The show goes on. Plenty of game left.
We going to home opener?
Yeah. Oh, it'll sell out right away, instantly. Yeah. Like,
let's go.
The fact that watch parties in the city were sold out. Your bar was the craziest I've ever seen for the last one.
Yeah, it felt like you walked in and it kind of felt like saw you from across the trenches. Like,
right. Yeah. No,
I'm like
crazy.
sweating. You're depressed over there. And it was like,
every bar.
hey,
Well,
how's it going? But
same with that long game that went so long.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wow, that was like, yeah, we went to so many different bars over the past World Series and all this. But
I will share a quick story, and to say the catchphrase, we will get into NXT eventually, guys. But
we might go long. We have a lot to catch up.
Yeah.
So if you're those kinds of people, just read the results.
So one of our friends, you've probably heard of these ridiculous ticket prices and the resell and all that. Well, when we won Game 7, we were watching at one of our favorite bars, Wide Open, and
Game 7 against the Mariners, yeah,
against the Mariners, yeah. And my friend was like, if you have a season ticket for next year, you get to have priority for
the World Series
postseason this year for the World Series.
Right.
So he quickly buys 2 season tickets in the 500 level for $2,000 per ticket for the season ticket. Tries the next day to get tickets, can't get them. So tries to contact them saying, cancel my season ticket. Like I was promised priority, didn't get them. They got back to him. It was like, oh, we can offer you tickets for the World Series, but you have to buying for each game for all 4 games that are potentially in Toronto. Sorry, all 4 games potentially in Toronto at 150 Canadian dollars per ticket. So he's like, absolutely, sure. Buys the tickets, goes to Game 1 and ticks off that thing on his bucket list. I've gone to Game 1. Resells Game 6, resells Game 2. It's like we lose that. They're going away to LA. Not sure if we're going to make it back home or not. And of course, we win games 4 and 5 there, right? And resells Game 6 and 7. So he's come out of this going to a World Series, having a season ticket for next year, and profiting $4,000.
I mean, he's part of the problem, so he's a bit of a cheeky cunt. So
yeah,
but you can't, don't hate the player.
Yeah,
hate the game.
Exactly.
People doing all sorts of stuff, but
exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, I seen people spending insane amount of dollars. One of my girlfriend's friends were watching. I think it's both Game 6 and 7 of the World Series, the final games. We're watching. I'm like, is that your and like front and center? So I looked at her Instagram, and sure as shit, she was posting. I was like, holy shit! I could imagine a pretty petty for something like that. Like you're sitting next to Eugene Levy or General was it the Colonel? KFC?
The Colonel was there,
GSP.
Was it Marlins fan, all of that.
Just all these people at this game. I mean, it looked crazy. So the city was jumping and the city was ready for it. And then what makes matters worse is then you just see that parade that they had for the Dodgers win. Yeah. So lame. So you may have won, but that looks sad. Our party would have been fucking jumping.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we had a shooting at the Raptors one, so shit was popping off literally. So we would go nuts. And if the Leafs ever won, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
bunker down because shit's gonna go.
I mean, this is. The city are crazy about the Leafs, but this is the whole country. I met so many people who'd come from all over Canada to just not even go to the game, but just be in the city for these games. So it is like it's so disappointing, but that whole month was such a special feeling, such a special atmosphere. It was awesome. I did buy some blue confetti cannons that I just have to save for another occasion.
Yeah, save it for when the Leafs win, man.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Or when you have a baby boy,
Yeah, someone's got a baby, you just shoot a thing, reveal. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but now it's over. What do we get into now? Like,
well, there's Leafs, there's Raptors,
the Argonauts still.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the Grey Cup in a couple of weeks, I think. But yeah
sure.
I did get to go to a Bills game.
Oh, okay.
Sunday.
How was
that? That was fun. Like our Guinness reps at work kind of hooked
nice.
myself and a couple of others up with tickets. So The problem was I had to meet at Real Sports at 10 a.m. to take the bus, which meant getting up at around 8:30 a.m. And we stayed open because the clocks changed. So we stayed open the extra hour at work. And you saw what work was like. It was an absolute zoo. So didn't leave work till about 5 a.m., which feels like 6 a.m. because of the time change.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're wired, get to sleep at about 6 a.m., had about 2 hours sleep, and then went to Buffalo, which was super fun. Got to go, they organized like a tailgate. So went to this tailgate where all the like food and drink was free.
Was it like WrestleMania tailgate where we saw like Kane and Bret Hart putting people through tables and
exactly.
shit?
I mean, ours was like our one was an organized one, so it was like a special section, but it was great. Yeah, like a bunch of food, bunch of drinks. People just there was a band playing, people throwing footballs around. Saw a pretty good game in Bills versus Chiefs, and the Bills won. And then we're on the bus heading home, and we realize, Gareth, don't you have a free stay in the hotel in Seneca, Niagara? So we just, before we crossed the bridge we did cross the bridge back into Canada, but then hopped off the bus then and walked back across and went to the hotel went to the casino that night and did all right for ourselves, stayed the night. And then the next day, our friend is like, I've got $100 off at any restaurant here as well. So we had steak dinner for free and then came back. So it was a pretty exhausting weekend, but a hell of a lot of fun.
You should be careful with the gambling with all this these scandals going around.
Right. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know if there's any insider gambling we can have on podcasts.
On wrestling? Are you kidding me? There's got to be. We could totally make money by putting money down. No, but Braden, we're not wrestling. We're talking about the wrestling. Yeah, but we watch enough wrestling. There's got to be people who bet on wrestling, right?
Right.
It's out there, is it not? Like, think back to Brock breaking the streak.
Oh, I've bet on wrestling before.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. So like, it's totally.
But that's not really what's happening here. If with the MMA stuff and the NBA stuff.
Right. Well. Like it doesn't work that way with wrestling, but
no.
But same with watching Shohei Ohtani with his post-game pressers. It's like, oh yes, this is my interpreter. Yes. Anyways, thanks guys. It was nice seeing you. Have a good night, everybody. It's like, wait a second. Wait a second. Your interpreter. How much did he put down on the games? I wonder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild. This weekend, did you get? You didn't get into the Halloween, the spooky spirit.
I went to my friend's Halloween housewarming party yesterday, which was I kind of went, showed face, wore my cowboy hat. That was about it.
What? Well, I guess it's a few days after.
I mean, I got back from Buffalo like an hour before it was starting, and wasn't feeling particularly in the Halloween spirit this year, but. Like, there's always next year.
Like one of our friends, shout out Ivan Rivers. He had a bit of a house party, Halloween being on a Friday. And it was so interesting because like me and my girlfriend always like to do Halloween spooky events on Halloween. And every event in the city was adding like, hey, we're going to add a screen, or hey, we're putting up a projector for the game, or like, hey, we're adding a second room or basement or upstairs that's going to have the game on because everyone wanted to watch it while also partying, because it really meant like trick-or-treating ends when the game starts and going out and partying starts when the game ends, which is like around 11. So our friend Ivan's had to put out okay, the game will be on at the house party. So everyone's like, okay, we can go to his house. So get there. As soon as it ends, it's like, oh. And then we had plans to go to this other thing, but we're outside on his like balcony of this house, and we're smoking, we're drinking, and the game has ended after a while, and this cab pulls up, and this kid gets out, and he starts walking down the street, and it's about like midnight at this point, and he looks up at us and he goes like, if I'm trick-or-treating, you guys got any candy? It's like midnight, right? And one of the guys on the roof is like, dude, how old are you? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, what are you guys doing up there? You got any like drinks instead of candy? We're like, what? Like, no. dude, you look like you're 16. I'm not inviting you to this house party. He's like, yeah, but I was just at the game and I want to celebrate Halloween. I'm like, man, I'm not letting this kid into this house party. So I was like, well, what's your Halloween costume? He goes, I don't have one. I told you I went to the game. And I yelled, well, I guess you're dressed as a loser. And everyone else was like, oh, bro, why did you say that to him? I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, kid, but you can't come in. And then we had to explain to our friends that you may get egged tonight. But then I recycled my costume this year. I wasn't feeling, but I wear this space cowboy thing and everyone comes up to me all the time. Like, fuck yeah, space cowboy. So ended up having a fun night as well. But maybe next year it won't land on a World Series where we can. Does this mean Halloween's on a Saturday?
What, right? Next year?
I guess so. If it's on a Friday this year, so get extra spooky. Whole weekend of being spooky next year.
When will the World Series be next year? Same time? Is it always Halloween?
It's always in October, but I don't know if it always necessarily lands on a Halloween.
Yeah, it's on a Saturday next year. So yeah.
Wow, spooky Saturday coming next year. But yeah, I got to at least go out. This like rave thing did like 3-4 different floors of like spooky Halloween shit and stuff. So next year we got to get a crew and do group costume or something like that. But we always say that and it doesn't work, but we have done it.
We've done a bunch. I mean, I just didn't feel inspired this year. Yeah. Like I couldn't think of a costume, and then baseball pretty much took over. So I'm happy to take a year off and go for it next year.
Yeah, there was a lot of Blue Jays costumes this year. I guess Ohtani would have been a true heel of a costume in Toronto. But yes, hopefully everyone out there. Did you see any costumes? Did you see any good?
Not many, no, not really at all.
I guess because you were just working, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I seen a bunch of the K-pop demon things. I saw so many Labubus. That was definitely the number one. Like from homemade to face paint to full body to head thing, like Labubu, everything. And but the best I saw was this lady who looked like she made her own. It was like a Japanese ghost thing that like a spirited away type. I don't know, but it was pretty sick. But I didn't feel like there was anything popping this year other than Labubus. I don't know. Maybe people saw those, but yeah.
Maybe in cities that didn't have other stuff going on.
There was a lot of Blue Jays. That was it.
Well, if you are still feeling slightly in the Halloween spirit, we have had a bunch of spooky stuff on our Patreon this past month. Subscribe at patreon.com/PoisonRana. It's only $5 and it gives you access to hundreds and hundreds of shows. We recently did our Up Yours review. Up Yours is a show where we get our top paying patrons to select either a wrestling show, a movie, whatever, for us to review. And Chris Price selected The Black Phone, the spooky, ghosty, kidnappy movie. Kidnappy movie. Yes, it's a genre. We reviewed that. We broke that down in detail. It feels kind of timely with the sequel just being released. And on top of that, we have a yearly tradition where we go back and watch previous Halloween Havoc shows. And this is probably the worst thing we've ever reviewed and quite possibly one of the best podcasts we have ever done when we reviewed Halloween Havoc 2000.
Oh, what a show. Vampiro, Mike Awesome, that 70s guy, Mike Awesome. I should get it right. The multiverse of Sting, Chronic versus Goldberg, and it's not the Chronic I signed up for, but wow, what a show. Those are some great reviews. We've also got a show called The Champ Is Here. We've been going through every John Cena title reign. That's been a ton of fun. Plus, we reviewed Psycho, the 1960 original Hitchcock. First time we reviewed some Hitchcock over on the Poisonrana Patreon. So check out all the other shows. If you've ever checked us out, it's only $5. You can sign up for a whole month and you get access to all the shows in that Patreon catalog, including so much retro wrestling. All The Champ Is Here, best match ever, and Was Next, which is a retro NXT review show. And we will be reviewing another one tomorrow. So that is coming out this week.
June 19th edition from 2014 of NXT featuring Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss and the debut of the Vaudevillains.
Oh no! Don't say his name.
We won't say his name.
And he appears. He's the original Simon. Wait.
Yeah. But if you're like, I'm not sure, I kind of like these guys talking about NXT, but don't know about hearing them talk about other stuff, you can just subscribe to Poison Rana for free wherever you find your podcasts, or youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod, where we have so many free shows. Another yearly tradition of ours is to go back and review one of the Halloween franchise movies in order. We've been doing this for many, many years now. And last week on Halloween, we released Halloween 8, Halloween Resurrection.
Yes. Busta Rhymes versus Michael Myers. Need I say more?
Kung Fu Buster.
Kung Fu Busta Rhymes versus Michael in a reality show from hell in the Myers house, plus Tyra Banks and so many other 90s, 2000s stars that you're like, oh, yeah, that guy. Oh, yeah, that girl. Oh, yeah, those people.
That was a super fun review. You can go back in the back catalogs. You can find our other Halloween reviews. We've got a bunch of Batman reviews on there, and as well as obviously our Sunday show. Every, give or take, Sunday, we talk about all the wrestling that we've watched during the week, and wrestling news, stuff going on, contracts and scandals and all of that in Poison Rana Live on Sundays, on our free feed and on our YouTube.
Absolutely. Yeah. We didn't go live this Sunday. The Jays stuff with work. You were busy. Plus you needed the rest. And I totally get that. I was so hungover. I had quite possibly the largest bowl of pho that I've ever encountered. Like, I tried this place near me, pho. Oh man, I'm blanking on it, but they're kind of new and they're bumping all the time. And I always get the large and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. But I was so hungover that I got the extra large and it hurt. It was a lot. But that hangover was real. We needed the day off, and we will be back this Sunday with a Poison Rana Live, where we will be talking all about the other stuff in wrestling. So we didn't go live this past Sunday, but catch us again. Join Poison Rana on YouTube or Spotify, whatever app you use. Give us a follow and check out all the other stuff that we talk about. And since we didn't do a show on Sunday, as the thing we said earlier, NXT will come. Who cares? We'll get there. Don't worry. But there was a lot of other stuff, so maybe we could just quickly go through and catch up on. It feels like I did a catch-up day today, where I was like, I'm going to watch all this other wrestling. I was busy, Halloween, carving pumpkins, partying, baseball, and then I watched a bunch of wrestling today. But where do you want to look at?
I think let's start with Saturday night's main event, and then the follow-up on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, we had a bunch of title changes on Saturday night's main event, and well, let's start with Cody versus Drew, which ended in controversial fashion with Cody hitting a DDT on the title, causing him to win the match, hitting then the Crossroads and defeating Drew McIntyre. So it looks like this feud is continuing. Thoughts on this match and thoughts on the kind of direction they've been going with Cody recently and cheating a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if this necessarily is like, oh, hey, alarm bells that maybe they'll do a heel thing with Cody. I don't think that is the case. It felt
more like you were going to cheat against me, so fuck it, right?
Yeah. So I totally felt like it was kind of vindicated. But the match itself kind of felt like the last time I watched them. Like, okay, there was some cool stuff in between, but I don't know, something about it. Like, maybe it would make sense for something to happen where Drew does cheat. Drew does get this like sneak win over him to maybe juice up the story a little. Like we were saying that about last year with Kevin Owens and Cody, and they didn't necessarily pull that trigger. They had an awesome ladder match, so maybe it goes in that direction or something too. It kind of feels like the exact same thing last year with Kevin, just Drew.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the matches though with Kevin a bit more.
Yeah.
I like both Cody and Drew, but some things felt off chemistry wise with this stuff, and I think even on TV, like the lack of Cody being around for the first one, and then this, the slightly weird stuff they've been doing with Cody in the build for this, it does feel like they're treading water a little bit. It is that, hey, we got to get Cody through to January where the real stories are going to happen, and whether they, Brock is a potential direction. Obviously, he took out Cody on his return, so that's a direction they could go. There's always Randy as well. There's still like that turn that could possibly happen. Or as we mentioned last week, and we're kind of far away from this at the moment because they're both champions and on different shows, but Punk versus Cody seems like
that
the big
money
like
match.
The big match, right?
And like that's a huge end game type situation. Like two big stars that they are teasing. They have made reference like, hey, one day we will get there, but right now, definitely not. I don't think we'll be this year at WrestleMania, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The Cody, I'm not saying Cody, the reign is already kind of boring, but I don't know necessarily what else you do. I didn't love the match, but it wasn't necessarily bad. Don't get me wrong.
Jade Cargill defeating Tiffany Stratton in 5 minutes 30 to win the WWE Women's Championship. I think we both predicted this. It kind of made sense with the heel turn, and I like that they did it in pretty dominant fashion. I think it actually made Jade look like the best she's looked on the main roster because they kept it simple, and I think that's really what works with her.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of power bombs. They're really playing on Tiffany's injury and stuff. Like what I said earlier with Drew, I think if you did this angle with Cody, that would have made sense and get you more interested in the story, because I don't necessarily think Tiffany is going to be the one to take this title back, but you could easily go to the rematch. But I would imagine when Tiffany's like fully healed is the story there. But yeah, I didn't necessarily, I wasn't shocked, but she crushed her with those power bombs and that, was it Storm is coming or whatever. But yeah, good for Jade. It's funny because like you have Cody, Jade, and CM Punk. Did you see the photo?
And Ricky.
And Ricky, who were all standing there. And I feel like there was someone else.
Oh, where was Ethan Page's invite as well?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Just a bunch of old AEW people as champions. But yeah, cool for Jade. Let's see, I guess, where we can go with that. Tiffany's run had some bumps for sure, I think.
And then we had Dominic Mysterio defending his championship against Penta. Retaining. I was right the first time. Against Penta and Rusev. Thought this was pretty fun. I'm enjoying Dominic a lot at the moment. He's a lot of people are getting into him, and I was more interested by the direction they went on in Raw with Rey Mysterio coming out and that feud seeming to pick back up again.
Yeah, this match was pretty fun. I love the destroyer spot from Penta jumping off Rusev. I can't say Rusev doesn't necessarily do it for me. I feel like his AEW run was kind of just whatever, and I feel like he's the same person but in WWE now. So I can't necessarily put my finger on like why I don't know. Something's not clicking with it, but I love Dom winning, and I loved having Rey Mysterio hopefully healthy, that we can go to this huge Dom Rey Mysterio. Obviously, we've seen it before, but like if you do a mask versus hair type thing in Mexico, like that would be an awesome pay-per-view matchup. Like that would be huge for if Rey were to be the one to get Dom to shave that luscious mullet, or if his own son were to be the one to unmask Rey Mysterio, just like Kevin Nash did. But I think that'd be great. So
I love the line on Raw of Dom saying like, you know, even better than my father, Eddie Guerrero.
I liked, oh, you're even growing mustaches like me now, Dad. Like, wow, you're stealing my style kind of thing.
But I'm liking that they're going back in that direction. I really think these, not necessarily having matches with each other all the time, but this feud should go on pretty much until Dom wins the world title.
Yeah.
And I think that'll happen one day. And I think that's the moment where you finally have them reconcile and you have the embrace with Dom as champion. And I think that would be such a cool full circle moment, because it's been such a great move, him being away from Rey, and it's caused him to like completely step out of his shadow. Like Dominic Mysterio is his own person now in his own right, rather than just being Rey's kid. And I think you keep them as oppositions and feuding until Dom finally wins that title. and then you can be like, yeah.
Wouldn't you say you could do that in Vegas? Dom loses the IC title in John Cena's last match, goes on to win the Royal Rumble, takes the title from CM Punk.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it would be as early as that. I still think it's a couple of years down the line, but yeah, you certainly could.
I want Rey Mysterio, Dominic in Mexico in some sort of mask v hair AAA title situation. Yeah. Rey Mysterio's never held that title, so I like that part of the story too. So Rey Mysterio is going to come out to Erasure, A Little Respect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, I know my shit. Yeah, we know we're on there. Listen, Rey Mysterio's old Mexico theme song. Yeah, we know ball. We listen to our best match ever 1 and 2, Rey Mysterio. I would love to see Dom Rey in a huge, like, Rey missed that AAA crossover thing that was completely made for him. That was like an RVD missing ECW, right? So it's like they got to make it good on that, and I think they will with Dominic and Rey. So make it IC title, double title, whatever. But like, dude's still hitting that 619 nice. So until he can't no more, keep doing it for sure. One of the best.
And finally, we had CM Punk defeating Jey Uso to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Hey, it looked like Post Malone and Pauly Shore, as they referred to, World Superstar Pauly Shore. They really loved this match, but I didn't actually. I would disagree with Posty on this one. It's so easy it almost feels like low hanging fruit to be like, yeah, I'm not really into the whole Jey Uso thing, but like, I'm really not into this Jey Uso thing. And the Punk and him, I thought this match was junk. I thought it was a little, I really didn't like it. And I was expecting a whole lot more. I still do like these guys, but something about even the story going into this, I know they were throwing a curveball with Seth and all this stuff, but how we got here was pretty lazy. And the match just, really, really didn't like it, but that was me.
I thought it was awful. I really disliked this. And for me, this was the match that like solidified for me that Jey Uso should not be in this position. I don't think the character stuff with him having a bit of an edge has been working, because for me, he's been coming across completely unlikable. At least when you had the chase for the World Heavyweight Championship, he was a really likable character. And we've said on this show, we're like, yeah, he's not the best wrestler in the world, but you can't deny he's over. We've been watching him for years as the Usos. Like, he's like, we like the guy. And I think he's just become a bit of a whiner, I found recently, and it's not been working for me. And then the match itself was, look, they're neither are the smoothest wrestlers in the world, whereas I think Punk as a wrestler is quite smart and uses it to his advantage, especially now at this point in his career. He wrestles like a 47-year-old man whose body's breaking down, but he uses that in his advantage to sell and be the underdog and try and fight from underneath and get the crowd behind him. But when you have that against another babyface who's kind of clunky, it really didn't work. And that, like, obviously that neck breaker spot that's been played over and over again online didn't help, but it wasn't just that. There were some awkward moments between the two, like not really getting their footing underneath them, not being able to, like, it looked like they were sandbagging each other at one point. It was just, I thought it was a mess. And then, the crowd were getting into it at the end. Posty was loving it. But, when people say spot fests, I think most people think, destroyers and poisonranas and swantons and super kicks and all that. But just spamming finishers and kicking out of it just feels so unearned. And it felt so unearned in this match because 75% of this match was trash, I thought. And then the end was like, well, how about we just steal each other's finishers, kick out, hit each other's finishers, kick out. And then I'll hit my finisher 3 more times before I pin you. For me, it felt completely unearned. I thought it was a pretty horrible match, to be honest.
One of my least favorites this year. I wouldn't say it's up there as like worst match of the year.
But for the stage it's on, for the prize it's for, that kind of thing.
Listening to the crowd, they were really loud and loved it,
Yeah.
but it's because Punk was winning and stuff. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed. I was pretty disappointed with that show. Like, there's some good stuff in all of these matches and stuff, but they weren't necessarily. I haven't loved the Saturday night's main event format. At least this one didn't feel like it was interrupting stuff.
Yeah, because this was on Peacock, so there were no commercials during the matches.
Okay.
The pacing was so much better. It felt like a C pay-per-view, really, didn't it?
Yeah, because it had title changes and title matches and stuff, and the new title, the new champ and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, okay, Punk is champ. We should have done this maybe like a while back, but okay, at least we're reset there. We could go there, like think, okay, what can we do right now with CM Punk as champion, leading the charge on Monday Night Raw? Insert Logan Paul into the mix the next night, which I think maybe a lot of people rolled their eyes, but I liked the segment with him ultimately teasing you to believe that there's potential a baby face deep down inside. There isn't. He's a bad guy, and I thought that was really well executed and easily sets up that match, which I don't know if it is a full like War Games, a title defense.
Yeah, I see it more as War Games, because obviously they're gonna have to rejig things because of the Seth injury. I think that's War Games. I feel Braun is possibly Rumble. I think I don't necessarily think Punk is holding this title right through to Mania. So I think I don't know what's the Seth timescale, like 6 months? Like, could he be back for Mania?
For what, Punk Seth again?
No, Seth Braun.
Seth Braun? Okay. Oh, right.
Like Braun steamrolls Punk, and then you have Seth coming back as a babyface to take on Braun.
True. That it kind of makes things weird, because it's like, what do you do with Punk if the story was supposed to be Braun? And
Punk Cody.
Punk Cody in Vegas?
Yeah.
Or Punk Cody in Saudi next year? Like, when does that happen? Has to happen, and that's definitely the big matchup. But yeah, I like the beatdown. I think War Games will be what, Jay, Punk, Roman versus Paul, the Vision. I guess he's with them now. He's replaced Seth. Like, he's with Paul Heyman.
Yeah. So the Vision. Will we have 5-on-5 like usual? Or
yeah.
So yeah, who rounds up? I mean, you could have Jimmy on. Jimmy J, Roman, Punk, and LA Knight, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, true. LA Knight. Forgot about him. They could have done some off story with him and Punk. I think that still would have been.
That's what I'm interested in. I think that could work down the road for sure.
Yeah, possibly. But so War Games, that's the next big pay-per-view. And then what? The last time is now the whole tournament that they've announced as well for the Saturday night's main event in Washington. So featuring WWE superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and some people who don't work here. Oh, interesting.
So people theorizing, Edge or Jericho, and it'll be Joe Hendry.
No, man, it's gonna be Jericho. It's gonna be Edge. It's gonna be. Come on. Who is it at this point? If they so far it's Rusev versus Priest. I imagine Rusev goes forward.
Yeah, Sheamus, Nakamura.
Yeah, and I even imagine Sheamus goes forward. But then what other match? They're gonna announce some other matches. How do you announce it if it's like someone? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, when they say not part of WWE, I fully expect it to be AAA or TNA. I don't think you're getting anyone outside of that.
Yeah, Mr. Iguana versus John Cena in his last match ever.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's still set up for, Gunther to win this tournament. But whether Cena has another match, like, does Cena join the baby faces at Survivor Series in War Games? Is Cena Dom happening down the line? Are we, Cena mentioned people he'd like to face, like Punk mentioned people he'd like to defend this title against, and mentioned John Cena again. Are we going to get a redo of that with the, properly a Cena being a babyface? Like, we've got Boston, we've got MSG, Survivor Series, and Saturday night's main event. So I feel Cena has at least one other match in there apart from his last match, right?
So there's only a few dates, but you're thinking he's going to wrestle in War Games. I don't know. It feels Is that something that could happen? Like, would they put him in that?
I mean,
match?
it's another bucket list thing, right? I mean, War Games is dangerous, but it's also like we saw with, Tanahashi in that cage match. It's also a way to be protected because you've got all those other people around you. Like, he's just got to come in as the last entrant and hit some 5-knuckle shuffles and AAs and shoulder blocks and things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, true. Well, we'll see. Who is John Cena's final opponent? The story continues of the best booked retirement tour in the history of wrestling.
Yes.
We're seeing it in our eye. Oh man, I'm so excited about it. It could have been so much better. Yeah. All the booking, like this tournament is, I don't know. I guess it's fine, but
it's a shame they seem to like blow a lot of the dates during that heel run.
True.
And now really you'd like something really meaty for his final match.
Yeah.
And we're kind of having to just do these one appearance to set things up. So we'll see. He's, since turning babyface again, I think he's had a pretty good run. And I think whoever he ends up being against, I'm still excited for it.
Like the AJ match would have been a real good last match, but
yeah,
see if they can top that. But yes, we'll find out what happens with John Cena. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on in the world of wrestling. I think we should jump into some NXT. But again, we will go live this Sunday with the Poisonrana, and we'll talk all about The Last Time Is Now, plus some SmackDown. We'll see what's announced with that, as well as some AEW Dynamite, some Collision, Blood and Guts they're going towards. Kind of funny. It's happening around the same time as War Games, but that's all right. So double rings on both wrestling shows in the near future. And in a few weeks, we are going to be going to Full Gear down in Newark. So, hey, if anyone else out there is going to Full Gear, we might be, we went to that one bar nearby the venue. That was all right before. So let us know, because there's also the GCW American Dream Mall show and stuff I might check out, but lots of wrestling and stuff. So we will be traveling down for some wrestling in the near future, but it's that gold rush for NXT that's happening in the next 2 weeks. So that's something for us to kind of look forward to with this show. But yeah, catch us live this Sunday for all the other talk and everything for Full Gear. Hangman Adam Page, maybe the best costume in wrestling, at least.
Oh my word. Yeah.
Right. We can't continue without saying anything to that. Gotta give, I'm a Halloween costume kind of guy, a costume connoisseur, some would say. And Hangman got me. Oh my God.
So I was watching this with my flatmate, and we're going, it's, the Stave Puft Marshmallow Man's out there.
Yeah.
It's going to be him again, because that's a callback to before. And they even, Hangman brought it up in a promo a week or so ago just to remind you. And then, but I'm doing the thing where I'm kind of, I'm watching, I'm on my phone a little bit, or I'm like uploading a show or something. So like I'm half watching. And then I say, oh, look, he's going to pull the face off and he's actually Tony Schiavone, meaning like Mission Impossible style, super realistic mask that you pull off. And then I look up and he's Tony Schiavone. I thought it was brilliant. The little fat suit he had on and everything. I thought, like, when you obviously like went back and rewound it, and it's so obvious, but when you don't know it's coming, it's the sleight of hand, it's the distraction. I thought it was so well done.
I think in wrestling, especially when like the interviewer, you're never really paying attention to the interviewer.
No.
And he clearly walked away. Hangman walks out. Watching it back a few times, you can see people in the audience who clue in, or like, wait a second.
Because Tony's like hiding, like goes down and rolls under
Tony
the
must
ring
have just disappeared. And then it's not till like you hear like the camera pans out as he's just hyping up Hangman, when Joe's facial reactions kind of change. And that's when you realize, oh shit, they've been playing me. That guy is not Tony Schiavone. So I thought they already had me with the classic Tony Schiavone Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, nice callback. That's awesome. And to use that into an angle, I thought that was fantastic. Like, I loved the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man thing when they did that. So Hangman has topped himself in every way possible. I thought this was so funny and so clever. He kind of, in photos afterwards, or photos of him now, or videos where he's like setting this up, he kind of looked, without the the Phantom mask. He kind of looks like JD Vance.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like, oh, what are you dressed as? It's like, oh, Tony Schiavone. Okay.
I find it hilarious that the character of Hangman, who we've seen, sticking needles in faces and burning down houses and all this, but just loves to dress up for Halloween.
I bet when he was a teacher, I bet he dressed up in some sick costumes. But this one goes down as one of the best. That was so funny. So definitely looking forward to Full Gear. It's definitely shaping up to have some fun matches.
Yeah.
And, we're going, and selfishly, Kenny now added to the card in that $1 million trios match. So definitely looking forward to that as well. So we're going to talk all about the AEWs, SmackDown, and some New Japan as well, and a whole lot more. I also watched that Masca Dorada versus not Grand Metalik versus Bandito, which was awesome as well.
Yeah, I managed to catch that before NXT as well. It was great stuff.
Crazy stuff. So we love the lucha here as well. But yeah, Poisonrana live 2 p.m. Sunday. We will be live, but if you can't catch us, catch the audio after that for your Monday mornings, your commute, your long showers.
Well, shall we get into some NXT?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. NXT from November 4th, 2025, live from the Performance Center. And we open. Truth will ultimately prevail, but there is pain bringing it to life. Yes, it's everyone's favorite cult. The Culling come out.
That's not fair. They're not my favorite cult.
Who's your favorite cult?
The Wyatt 6 haunted Halloween thing, that looked fucking epic. And I wish I could have. I'd say the Wyatt family are my favorite. Not the Mansons, not the Kool-Aid guy, but the Wyatts. They're my favorite cult.
The Wyatt 6 is your favorite cult?
No, not the Wyatt 6. The Wyatts. The
original Wyatts. All right.
Wyatt family.
Fair enough. So we start with Tatum Paxley, the NXT Women's Champion, Izzi Dame, and Lola Vice taking on Fatal Influence. Izzi, her gear kind of now inspired by Tatum's Halloween Havoc gear, with having the white with the blood drips on it, looked pretty good. This iteration of Fatal Influence, it's missing something. I'm sorry, but Lainey Reed on this entrance just didn't do it for me.
She needs something, right? Like Nyx had the, hey, come here for a second. No, back away.
Yeah, Fallon does a strut and then dumps her jacket on the camera. You have JC with her pose. Lainey's there looking bored and flicks her hair. Come on, Lainey. Do better. We start with Fallon coming right in with a forearm to Tatum. Tatum then hits this like split-legged splash to Lainey. Lainey and Fallon then continue to double team on Tatum when there's a running kick to the face from behind from Fallon, which looked pretty nice. This was like the swerve. What's he call it?
The house call?
The house call, yeah. She essentially hit a house call here. Lola Vice enters, delivering an axe kick to the back of Fallon. And then both Tatum and Lola hit the I'm a Latina hip attack and then start to dance. And they try to get Izzi to dance along with her, but she refuses to as we go to commercials.
Yeah, as Booker T is literally giggity.
Yeah.
Giggity.
We come back from the break and Fatal Influence are in control. There's a running blockbuster from Lainey, followed by the knee to the face from JC. Lola finally makes the tag to Tatum, who takes out all three. She hits these running cross bodies, like almost like a sandwich to each corner, and then goes for the 450, but Fallon moves, so she rolls through. As the ref is distracted by JC, this allows Lainey to deliver a cheap shot to Tatum. And then Fallon goes for an inside cradle, but the ref is still distracted. So now Izzi runs in, tipping the cradle over to allow Tatum to get a near fall. Lola then comes running in with her spinning back fist. Izzi off the top with a code breaker. And then Fallon and Tatum both run into each other. Tatum sets up for Cemetery Drive, but Fallon blocks it. JC then blind tags. Izzi goes to blind tag. She didn't actually make contact, but they allowed the tag anyway. And JC goes for the rolling encore. Izzi throws Tatum out of the way and eats the elbow to the face, allowing JC Jane to pick up the win on Izzi Dame.
kind of a shocking like finish considering like Izzy's the one taking the pin here from JC. Not because, you know, Tatum's the champion to maybe keep her strong, but to kind of change, like almost shift the story here with the culling. If like you were thinking that there may have been some tension or breakup or something like that, but to Izzy to have it, and I guess to continue JC versus Tatum as the one-on-one.
I got the feeling, especially with the promo later, that it was meant to be sort of Izzy tagged herself in. Tatum was kind of overexcited, and Izzy throws her out the way because she shouldn't be there, and like inadvertently got hit and pinned. Because the promo later was basically like, "Hey, you gotta calm down a bit because otherwise you're gonna lose this title."
I like that Izzy and Tatum right now are at least a working unit. It's still a weird stable, the music, the catchphrase, whatever, the chairman, the GPS man, but at least it's working completely for Tatum. Like I wanted a reset with JC. I think we should go back to a rematch, give her a gold rush at least.
Yeah.
Go back to JC and Tatum, and then maybe we go to the breakup of Fatal Influence. Like I know we just got the new version, but I don't know if how long that's going to last, and if they are going to plan to move them up or something. I'm not quite sure, but I think we need the eventual Fallon JC match down the line. But let's keep Tatum as champion going forward at least a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought a pretty fun match between the six of them. As I said, I'm not sure on Lainey at the moment. I feel there's zero charisma there. I think she can wrestle. Like there's some nice stuff in the ring, but there's certainly something missing, and she does feel out of place to me in this group.
I think like it's still so early, so like you gotta maybe let her try to find her spot and find her way. But I don't disagree. Like it does kind of feel like we've seen this unit for over a year, maybe longer, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it was with Nyx, and now it's just like, and you've been replaced. You know, like K-pop bands or J-pop bands do this all the time, where they just go, "Oh, you don't want to be here anymore, huh? Okay, well, you're replaced." So it's kind of the same thing where it's like, and Lainey Reed now is just in this group. So I don't know. I'd say give her time still, but at this point, like needs to maybe gel well with the other ones. But who knows? They could break up for all we know. We've been saying that, but yeah, it could happen.
We see El Grande Americano in the locker room with Rayo and Bravo, and he's speaking in Spanish. He's asking where his private locker room is, and he picks up a bag saying, "What is this trash?" Josh Briggs comes in and tells him to get his hands off his things and says he doesn't care who he is because he puts down fan favorites, and he wants a match, but not for the speed title. He doesn't want time limits. He wants a regular match so he can beat him up. Comprende? And El Grande laughs at him saying comprende and calls him a damn gringo in Spanish. And the match is on for later tonight. El Grande Americano, Josh Briggs.
Nice. Right? Like this guy's coming down with this speed thing. The Grande character, definitely something that's working. I say definitely, and then asking that with a question mark after. But like, it's a funny gimmick, but with Chad Gable out, this guy is a pretty good wrestler. I mean, we've seen him back in the years we were covering NXT. He was a lot of fun then too. So I did have interest in this match tonight. Like, oh, wait a second. Like Josh Briggs has kind of been at least someone who's been putting on like good matches, but now having who is this? Kaiser? Ludwig?
Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig. I mean, it's El Grande Americano. But
I mean, he's taken it even further than Chad, like speaking the Spanish and all that. He
speaks it. It looks like he's got a new like girlfriend who speaks it. It's like he's got the whole. It looks like this gimmick is taking over his life.
Now, if the timetable's correct and Chad Gable is returning like towards the end of the year or January, how good would it be to bring him back in the Royal Rumble?
Right,
where you have two El Grande Americanos.
I mean, it's like Undertaker v. Undertaker. It's Kane v. Kane. It's Grande v. Grande at SummerSlam or Mania or something. But yeah, in the Rumble, if Chad could come back, that would be so funny. And some pretty good wrestling between the two of them, actually. But yeah, this gimmick is so silly. But when you watch this guy, like, he really loves it. I think he's really taking to it. I've watched some clips of him just online and backstage at these the AAA show and stuff, and man, this guy is living the gimmick of Grande Americano. But yeah, Kaiser definitely taking this character and running with it. So you'd love to see it.
We get a recap from last week of the TNA Knockouts Championship match with Kalani Jordan cheating, using the title against Jordan Grace to win, as we get a picture from Jordan showing how beaten up her face was from this title shot. And then we get a video sent in from Lei Ying Li, the former Xia Li, and she's mad at Kalani. She says, "You fooled us. You are not a good person. You brought shame to that championship, and be prepared to battle, because I am the one to take that title from you."
She's really mad.
She's pissed.
She's like, yo,
she's like, you duped us. You won this title. You pretended to be Team TNA, and you're just mean. We then see Wren Sinclair, Carmen Petrovic, Tyra May Steele, and Kendall Gray backstage. And Wren says she's so proud to finally call Kendall an official member of the NQCC. Sorry, the Wren QCC. And this is when Kalani walks in and just mocks them. She looks at Kendall Gray and says, "Ha, I remember my first championship. So you need to listen to what I have to say. Go find a monitor," as she heads to the ring.
Yeah, she's being mean. She did used to be one of those, girls in these backstage, gather the roster of the women's roster here of who's not doing a whole lot. And Kalani used to be in these a whole lot. So now she's the mean spirited one, looking down on them here, like, oh, look at you. But yeah, here she comes out to cut the heel promo that we've been waiting for. The edge finally coming out of Kalani Jordan.
Yes. So Kalani comes out and says, "Last week I did everything I had to do to retain my championship. I guess it was a bit out of character for Kalani Jordan." And then the crowd are just booing her. She says, "Shut up while a champion is speaking. Why is it when Dominic Mysterio cheats, you cheer? You cheer and you love him. When Cody cheats, you will still sing his song on Friday night. Why does everyone have a problem with me? NXT is drowning in hypocrisy. And an opportunity came up when Ash by Elegance vacated this title, and I won it on my first night. And I told myself I wouldn't be Trick Williams. I wouldn't trash and disrespect this championship. And you know what that gets me? Booed, kicked out of the locker room, and labeled as a traitor by people I thought were my friends. How dare you represent TNA Kalani? But it's okay for Lola representing AAA. You all love Lola. I was kicked out of the locker room by women who haven't achieved half what I have. I'm not called the standout for no reason. I've been called that since my trial 3 years ago, and no one can keep up with me. They know it back there, and you know it out here. They don't care enough. They switch their minds every week. They're not loyal. They only care about what fits their narrative. Girls with fat asses and catchphrase. What matters is being above average in this ring. And I came out and I speak the truth, and I'm public enemy number one. You aren't fans, you're followers. And I'm not going to be champ like Tatum handing out opportunities every week. I'm not even going to defend my title at Gold Rush. I'm staying at home. And there's no woman who deserves it. Lei Ying Li, I see you chatting on social media. I don't care. I've beaten you before. So call me a traitor, call me disloyal, call me whatever. But the one thing you will call me is champion.
Damn. As she does the mic drop. Of course. Yeah, scathing. She's heated. She's so angry. She's finally letting us know her true feelings here. I love the line about girls with fat asses and catchphrases. I feel like that's a thing in wrestling. Just in life, maybe. I feel like there was a reference to a Jay-Z. Somebody got a problem with Lonnie. That was definitely a Hove callback. But I think this was probably a lot for her, considering like she's only ever been a babyface of what we've seen on TV. She's had little attitude edge here and there, like we said, but to go out there and cut like a full heel promo, I think this was so needed. And I think on a first attempt, I'd definitely say it was pretty good. Like the only thing is I needed more like The only thing I critique this is I want more nastiness. I want like more, like Roxanne was kind of doing this too, right? And I think there's some comparisons there of like, hey, baby faces that are like squeaky clean, don't necessarily have their character necessarily planned out or can't quite find who you are yet, turn heel and let that all come out, and then you can easily go back to babyface down the line. But on a first glance, I'm like, okay, this is going in the way better direction of maybe what we've seen from her before. So I was expecting maybe just some bigger punches from it, but I'm gonna say I can't wait to see maybe where we can go with this, with a bigger version of Kalani Jordan.
I think we can get with the nastiness. I actually thought this promo was great. Like I like the justified heels, and I didn't even think of some of the stuff she was saying. And considering it was Lola that kicked her out of the locker room, and she goes, "You got no problem with Lola being in AAA every week." Like I liked that. I liked the bring up Dom and Cody, and that when they do it, you cheer. But what's wrong with me? Why are you booing me? I thought there was justification in her actions from her promo, but came across mean. I thought she delivered it well. I thought the lines were good. I think this is a good start, week one.
She's laying Lee. I already beat you. Hello.
Yeah.
I like that. I was like, you did actually. Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see where we go. What, like, I think we'll get back to it later with, cause she says she's not wrestling, but it's wrestling. So as soon as the heel says, I'm not wrestling on this show where there's titles supposed to be defended, she's going to wrestle.
Yeah. We see OTM backstage, and they're asked why they attacked all the tag teams last week. And they said, we're here for cash and championships. And last week was just a glimpse of what we can do. And they don't need to yell anymore because they can back it up. And this is when Chase U, Kale Dixon, and Uriah Connors show up and are like, hey, you think you can just do that to us and get away with it? And Andre Chase steps in, trying to calm them down. And he goes, what do you think you were doing, pissing off OTM? You think that's a good idea? So he's calming them down. But
I imagine we go to a match next week or the week after or something. But so you can understand their diction now?
I think they've worked on it since they've been away, because I didn't have a problem understanding them here at all. Maybe they did say we're not yelling anymore, so maybe that's part of it. But yeah, I actually thought they sounded a lot better here. So maybe they have been taking elocution classes in their hiatus.
They are out the mud.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I like...
out the mud and the marbles are out of their mouth. Yes.
Wow. I like the Chase U guys standing up for themselves, at least, like kayfabe wise, like they got geeked out. So Kale Dixon, every time I watch him wrestle, he's great. But then I'm like, every time he's backstage, I'm like, this guy's a wrestler. But then when I watch him wrestle, he's really good. And then I'm like, oh, and then Finley's kid. And like, I kind of like these guys. So I wish they were getting this more of a push. And this look that they're mad at Andre, like, how long till they rip off that Chase U shirt and say, you know what, dude, get fucked?
Yeah, I don't really like I know, like, pick your battles, but I don't like that every week Andre Chase is trying to get these guys not to wrestle. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you should stand up for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that's what the old Andre Chase would say, but the new one's kind of a wimp.
We go to our next match, Josh Briggs versus El Grande Americano. El Grande starts off hitting this beautiful arm drag. It was almost like a Spanish fly arm drag with the flip there.
I was nervous for a second. Yeah, it almost looked like he almost landed on his own head, but he was fine. But yeah, some very fast series of chain wrestling there from him.
Yeah, has a double wrist lock into a handstand as he's like opening and closing his legs, pissing around. Poses on the top, but Briggs goes after him, and that's when we hear those fucking chains.
Well, yeah, I just said there was chain wrestling, so Jasper Troy was interested in that. But yeah, you could hear the chains of old man Marley. No, old
Jacob Marley. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the chains of the ghost of Jacob Marley. You just hear the chains clanking. It's like an old episode of Scooby-Doo. It's like, oh no, here comes this guy, and he's just watching in the crowd with his chains. It's like, oh man, okay.
So we see Jasper Troy in the crowd, and he just keeps on making these chain noises throughout the match. It's pretty weird.
Get why with the chain? Stop
Can you imagine
it.
you're sat behind him? You're like, dude, sit the fuck down.
With this
Like,
rattling chain. You know, like you ever hear like it's a windy night and your neighbor like
has
left
wind
something
chimes
out?
or something.
Yeah, and it's just these fucking chains rattling. He must have been doing it right into a microphone.
Yes. Americano delivers some overhand chops, goes to run the ropes, but Briggs blocks him with blows to the back. Briggs then gets him in the tree of woe, choking him with his boot. Grande comes back with a blockbuster, followed by a tope suicida. And then on the outside, Briggs throws Americano against the ropes, rebounding for the clothesline. And that is when Angelo Dawkins, circa 2014. Wait, no, hang on. Tavion Heights runs out.
With a backpack.
And a front pack?
It's a backpacker. Wait, a front pack? What do you mean? Like a fanny pack?
He had a backpack, and then he had 2 little backpacks.
How many packs
front.
do you need?
He had 3 packs.
Get a bag now at that point. Like, that's...
Yeah.
What are you keeping there, Tavion?
The referee is distracted, obviously, because this guy looks fucking ridiculous.
So you got this big dude hanging out in the crowd with these fucking loud chains. You got Tavion coming out with way too many backpacks, like the front or the back, dude. Make up your mind. Well, all while this match is going on. Meanwhile, the crowd are really hot for Americano Grande. He seems like one of the biggest stars on the planet for this. I know this is a small crowd, but still.
So this distracts and allows Americano to apply the submission. What is this? It was like double knees to the back.
Yeah, Mexican surfboard.
Mexican surfboard. And Josh Briggs taps out.
There was some good wrestling in here because, like I said, Josh Briggs, even though he still has the Dollar Tree skeleton smoking skull thing, I don't like. I love his wrestling, and I thought this if you took away the dude with the chains, the dude with the backpacks, and all that stuff, I think Josh Briggs and El Grande here could have had some good wrestling, and there was some glimpses of some really cool stuff, especially like we said earlier, Ludwig is having way too much fun with this character, showcasing some of his wrestling skill. But I liked the styles clash of these two dudes, but it added the NXT flair of just. Look at what all this other shit that's going on. You got these other 2 dudes dressed up. You got these other 2 Brits dressed up as luchadors. You got old Jacob Marley ghost chain dude. You got backpack. It's just Booker T yelling, going off about outside interference and all this shit. It was a bit much by the end of it.
What I like. I really enjoyed Chad Gable as El Grande Americano. But what I like about this iteration with these 3 is we know all 3 of them are really great wrestlers. And yes, there's probably a higher ceiling for all of them in a different gimmick or whatever. But this is so much more interesting than what No Catch Republic or whatever it was called, like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate together. And I think in a way it must be quite fun because they're working a different style. They're working a lucha style. And it's almost like, when a artist goes out and it's like, I'm now going to do my country album. And it's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And it's these guys are going to work and they're like, now I'm going to wrestle as a luchador. And
so are you saying they're going to make a contemporary lucha championship and a original old school lucha championship award?
Maybe.
Just like the Grammys just did?
Yeah.
So Beyonce wins.
It's called the Speed title, Braden.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. This is all about the Speed title. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So contemporary.
Yeah.
Is where we're going with this one.
But it's really fun to watch, I think. And
I agree.
I could have done without the interference. I don't care for Jasper Troy. I don't really care for Tavion Heights anymore, especially with that stupid backpack and front pack. But
Tavion, where'd you get the pack? Where'd you get it from?
Like, just what was he doing? Like, going to hand in his homework and then realize he had to interfere in this match? Like why is he wearing this?
What I'm not going to do is sit here and say like front packs or backpacks aren't allowed. We're wrestling fans. Fanny packs and wrestling go hand in hand. There's a connection there. And I love my Stash Pages championship fanny pack. But when you have the back and then this front thing, like, what do you have your whole dab rig in there? What's in there?
Also, when you're at work, like, what were you doing? Like, were you on your way somewhere else? You went to have your packed lunch and catering, and then just you had to run out to interfere in this Josh Briggs match. Like, I don't.
What do you have in there?
I don't know.
I don't know. In there? Game Boy, some weed.
So we're backstage and see Kalani Jordan, who tries to talk to Wren Sinclair and Kendall Gray. She's like, "Did you see what I said that out there?" And they just blow her off. They say, we need to focus on our match. And they leave. And that's when Ava shows up and says, "Look, Kalani, it's not your decision whether to wrestle like Gold Rush or not." Kalani goes, "Yeah, well, I'm TNA champion, and it's not your decision as to whether I wrestle or not, because you're the NXT GM." And this is where Tyra May Steele steps up and says, "What happened to you? I used to look up to you." Kalani says Tyra will learn something here that no gold medalist knows about, and that is second place. So Ava says, "Okay, you're right. I can't dictate when you defend that Knockouts championship, but I can set up a match between you two tonight." And that'll be later in the show.
Yes. First, I liked how Kendall and Wren just blew them off to like, fuck you, I don't care. And at least Ava is sort of getting some control of this. And like we imagine, is again, like we said, as soon as a heel tells you I'm not defending, like Santino is definitely gonna like set up this match for Gold. In fact, I thought they were just gonna go to this Tyra May Steele match, but that, like you said, is happening a little bit later. So yeah, I'm still really distracted now. You had me interested and intrigued, so I've looked up what Tavion Heights was wearing, and you know what? I don't take back anything we just said, because the dude looks like he's Dora the Explorer. Yeah, look at this thing. This is interesting. It's like an orange backpack. I'm sorry we're going off on this, but it's hilarious.
I want to try and get it on the screen, but it keeps on messing up the feed today. So, but yeah, like what's he? But the front
it's like
ones,
Batman when he wears the like.
They look like women's handbags on the front. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but why have you got 3 bags strapped to you? It looks
so
like
a bag on your front
like
chest.
It's almost like an orange bomb he's got on him, like
the Unabomber.
Like what is going on, Tavion?
Jeez.
I did tweet him saying that
didn't like it.
That Angelo Dawkins wants his backpack back, but he didn't reply.
Look, I feel like, I make fun of Josh Briggs' skull. I'm making fun of Tavion's bag choices, but I think they're fantastic wrestlers. Just sometimes when they show up on TV with weird things, I'm like, what? That's weird. Like, I'm not shaming or anything. It's just like, whoa, what could you possibly do with not even 2 bags? It is in fact 3 bags. Man,
he's got his medication in one. He's got his packed lunch in the other. He's got his homework in the back.
Well, I always got my inhaler.
Yeah, exactly.
My phone, charger, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not knocking the style, Tavion. Just questioning why you need 3.
And why when you
look at it, it's gonna bug me for like at least another day. So sorry, I keep bringing it up.
Miles Bourne approaches Ricky Saints and wishes him good luck for the last man standing match next week, but tells him to save a little bit of trick for him. And we then get a recap of Ethan Page and Chelsea Green winning the Triple R Mixed Tag Team Championship this past weekend. When we go to a Ricky Saints and Trick Williams like split screen interview here. And Ricky
via satellite, but they're both in the same building?
Yeah, exactly. Ricky says, "You threw a fit last week when you lost. I gave you the opportunity and I didn't have to. And you didn't take it like a man. You can't accept your second best." And Trick says he's second to none and Ricky knows nothing about carrying this brand. Ricky says, "Look, Trick, you've had 1 foot in, 1 foot out since I got here." And Ricky says, "This championship is a combination of who I am as a man and all the hard work I've put in. And now I can take NXT to new heights that you failed to do. And you take everything for granted, whereas I don't." Trick says, "So now you're a man of the people. Well, that championship doesn't belong to someone like you. You look like a fan. You want a title? Go to WWEshop.com like everybody else. I'm bigger and better than you, and you'll find out next week." Ricky then tells him that he wears Delusion like it's designer. So let's see about it right now. So they both leave their satellite feed rooms. They go backstage to attack each other. And obviously there's pipes.
Of course there's pipes
everywhere. Pipes everywhere. And Trick swings a pipe. Ricky ducks. They attack each other. And then Trick whacks him in the ribs with the pipe and says, "You don't want to see this side of me, Ricky, but next week you will."
These pipes are good. This is going too far with these pipes now. I'm sick and tired of these pipes in MIA wrestling, specifically NXT. Why is there always pipes?
I assume they're scaffolding, right?
Yeah, I
the
hope
set
so,
and the lighting rigs, and it's like spare stuff. I don't know.
Just always pipe. There's chains, pipes. It's all the stereotypical wrestling things. But yeah, the pipe thing. I almost flipped my whole computer over. I was like, oh, okay, again with the pipes. But yeah, I think this match could be good tomorrow, next week. I do think there was some fun stuff said. Trick kind of being like, you're a fake champion. You can go buy the title, all that stuff. But I would say I was a bit let down. I think of the Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle, like face to face, where it's like, what did you just say? Like I was waiting for that one thing and it didn't come. So
the problem, everything's been said already. We've had the same promo in like just rearranged, but it's the same stuff every week with these three. Ricky being like, "Hey, I've worked hard. I've worked from the bottom and got here, and you take things easy, the easy route." And this feud feels like, I hope next week is the last week, as you said last week. Maybe this is a way for Trick to have his swan song in the PC, but this feud has ran out of legs for me.
Yeah, is this potentially the end of Trick in NXT? Like he's kind of done everything. He's been the NXT champ. He's been the TNA champ. He's like, I think a main roster run is probably, whether it's now or later, before Mania, after Mania, I'm not sure. But
could it be that the last time is now tournament?
Okay, I mean, John Cena in his promo said NXT stars, but I don't know. I would like to see him with Carmelo. I'm not necessarily saying that's something that has to happen, but it would be cool if they were together. I think they work well together, and push Carmelo Hayes, put them together with Trick. But I need this feud to be over with. But hopefully next week isn't just the same old NXT, plunder that we've seen. I kind of hope we get something else, but we always say that when it comes to kind of these things. So my expectations aren't necessarily high, and I'm not super into last man standing matches. So we'll see. But I don't like last man standing matches. But what was the all in main event technically, like a 10 count? And that was
death match.
They did that great. But usually the 10 counts in WWE, I don't necessarily. NXT gets two kendo.
Well, that one also can end in submission, right?
Right. That's how it ended. I forget. Yeah. Anyways, but I hope we get something good next week from these two. Ricky, solidify. We're gonna get pipes. They're gonna pipe it up.
Oh yeah. We go to our next match. It's the Speed Women's Championship tournament match. Zaria taking on Wren Sinclair. This is obviously for Sol Ruka's vacated Speed Championship.
As Vic Joseph making clear that Ricky has been checked on by medical. He's really hurt from the beatdown. So taped ribs coming soon.
Sol Ruka is at ringside with Zaria. Wren goes for a pin immediately, and then Zaria attempts to roll up. There's a lot of pin attempts very early on, 1 minute gone, and Wren is now trying to attack the shoulder. She applies an octopus stretch, and then a double one-handed chop to the chest from Wren. Zaria comes back with a clothesline and a pump kick, and then we have 60 seconds left on the clock. Wren drops Zaria into an armbar, 45 seconds left. There's a spear from Zaria, followed by the F5, and then Zaria wins 1-2-3 with 29 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, did Vic call this the Zone of Destruction?
I think so.
I think the Zod, kneel before Zod, the Zone of Destruction. I like the bit in the speed tournaments when the lights change to tell me how long it is. You're in the danger zone, the red zone. When we got a minute left before everything explodes. It's like, oh shit, finish the match. Fun match. I like Wren, so it's kind of weird that they put her in this position.
I wish this was someone else other than Wren. I thought they played the gimmick of it way better than some others. Like there was like really trying to get those pinfalls early. But I think if you really want to heat up Zaria, the bell should have gone. She should have won this speed match in about 20 seconds. It should have been spear, F5, 1, 2, 3. And that sucks for Wren. But they tried to make it competitive. They gave Wren quite a lot in this match until the finish. But I just think for the kind of character Zaria is, and we expect her to go to the final, and probably it makes sense for her to win this thing. It should have just been spear, F5.
It should have been someone else that she did that to.
Exactly. Yeah. Someone a little lower down. Someone, because we all like Wren.
We love Wren. I like Zaria too, so I do think she's going to win this speed title thing. It makes sense with her and Soul and stuff, but it's almost like I can't wait for Zaria to just be this monster. I think Zaria should be winning matches like that, quick matches, like nothing, because like her moves are the giant spear, which looks good, and that F5. I loved, what was it? Check out this replay sponsored by BK. Have it your way. Replay. Bars.
Rhymes.
Bars, Vic Joseph. Straight up bars. BK. Have it your way. So wait, the next match is Skylar Grey. Is it Skylar Grey? No. Skylar...
Didn't she do a WrestleMania song?
Voices in the air. Yeah. No, it's not Skylar Grey. It's someone else. I'm getting all. There's already someone else.
Skylar Ray. Oh,
Skylar Ray. I was way off.
Yeah.
So off. Skylar Ray taking on Fallon. So, I mean, like, there you could have put Skylar Ray in and had Zaria crush someone that we're not too super familiar with yet.
Yeah.
It made a lot more sense. And then have Fallon beat the babyface and Wren.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense. But
I think so. I agree.
So we're going to Fallon versus Zaria, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, yeah. We go right away into our next match. Kalani Jordan taking on Tyra Ray Steele. Kalani is attacking the arm of Tyra, but Tyra keeps powering out. She applies a wrist lock of her own. And then
I'm pretty sure you said Tyra Ray because we were just saying Skylar Ray. So we're not talking about Kendall Gray.
Okay. Tyra
not
May.
Skylar Ray. Kendall Gray and Tyler
Ray. Tyra May Steele.
NXT names.
Fuck.
Curse you.
I said Kyra Jordan earlier as well. Just
Kyra Jordan. What are you new?
So there's then a wrist lock from Tyra May Steele into a nice looking Olympic style fireman's carry. And then Tyra runs into a super kick from Kalani. Kalani continues to work on the arm, even traps it between the ring steps before kicking it, but Tyra escapes. Tyra then leaps off the corner with a ass to the face move, just like in the Olympics. She then hits a reverse Olympic slam for a 2 count, but Kalani comes back and hits the one-of-a-kind moonsault for the win.
As Booker T is just shouting, shout out my homie, RVD, shout out my homie, Rob Van Dam. Okay, Book. He's watching. Quick match. I think Kalani, after like the heel promo earlier, we needed some sort of like, hey, reminding us she's kind of more the dominant champion here. So I'm not loving what we see of Tyra May so far. I feel like there are too many people that they're doing the Olympic thing. It's like become one of the stereo, like, okay, go to Tavion. You're an Olympic or Paralympic or whatever, like not Paralympic, sorry, Pan Am Games, or like, like real wrestlers. Kendall Gray, you come from wrestling background. Hey, like we've had the Diamond Mine, et cetera, et cetera. Just feels like that's a gimmick.
It can't be your own personality. It is absolutely something you should be celebrating and using, but like it worked so well for Kurt Angle because he was a heel and he was obnoxious about it, and whereas I think Tyra May Steele so far, we haven't seen a great deal of. We saw her in the mixed tag against Ethan Page and Chelsea Green, where the crowd just turned on her and Tavion because of that. They smell it, right? It's, oh, you're just ramming this person down our throats because she's an Olympian, but what else is there to her? And it's just it's very bland. She's coming out smiling, but we don't really know much of her character. Now, you said like switching the speed matches around. I think this should have been Wren in this position.
Right.
Like we already had the interaction backstage. The crowd were just so flat in this match. And I think the first match from this heel iteration of Kalani, should be beating a beloved babyface. And whereas the crowd just didn't care about Tyra May Steele, they're probably happy to see Kalani wrestle, and therefore it was just flat. And I think if Wren was in this position with Kalani, attacking her arm and being mean to her, the crowd would have been more sympathetic to Wren, and therefore would have got Kalani over better as a heel. So I just thought this was bad booking.
Yeah, and you could have went back to the Wren. Like, I imagine we're going to go to Wren Kalani down the line.
Yeah.
But then you go back to it as a way bigger
We'll get
story.
Kendall and Kalani as well.
Yeah. Yeah, this didn't do a whole lot for me, but I want to see where we go with Kalani again, and we will sort of figure that out.
After the match, we see Santino Marella on the screen. He says, I heard you said about not defending the TNA title at Gold Rush. And you are correct. Ava is not the GM of TNA, but I am the director of Authority, and you will defend it against Lei Ying Lee and Jordan Grace in a triple threat match at Gold Rush.
Yes, the triple threat. Jordan Grace, Kalani Jordan, Lei Ying Lee. I like that. You could give it away from Kalani, but at this point, maybe not so quick after the heel.
Yeah, I don't think right now. I think the former Xia Li is taking that pin in that match.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, Santino making the call. Triple threat in New York, Gold Rush. Lots of gold on the line.
We see Sol Ruka and Zaria backstage with Ava, and Sol says her knee is getting better and better and wants a match with Blake Monroe at Gold Rush. And she thinks she'll be ready. And Ava says, look, I just can't rush it. I can't sign that match until the doctor clears it. And Zaria says, wouldn't that be great? We both walk out Gold Rush as champions. You as the North American champion, me as the Speed champion. And that's when Fatal Influence walk in. And JC Jane wants her rematch for the NXT Women's Championship. Fallon says, JC will be NXT Women's Champion and I will be Speed champion. And Ava goes, well, I don't know. I've got to figure out who's in this John Cena tournament, and leaves.
So, yeah. Once again, the character of Ava not being the most competent general manager. The character of Ava. Got to make sure say that. I think that makes sense, though. Fallon Henley versus Tatum one more time. Like, rematch that at Gold Rush.
JC versus Tatum.
Sorry. Yeah. Tatum versus JC. I see Zaria winning the Speed title, though. I think that
I think it works, Zaria winning it, because Zaria keeps on saying, I'm winning it for you.
Right.
And then once she wins it, she ain't giving that title. And
no, why would she? No, she's not giving it to her. She won.
No, but I think that's where the split comes between these two.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Who do you predict is in this?
Right. Yeah.
Who are the NXT?
Who's Ava going to pick?
What do we think? One or two NXT people in this?
I don't know.
I do see Joe Hendry being one of the people from
Joe
TNA.
Hendry. Okay. Yeah, he's been someone who's been pushing for that John Cena match.
Javon Evans makes sense. He's already been on SmackDown a couple of times, so the crowd are familiar with him. And
rematch Randy Orton versus John Cena again. Sorry,
Javon.
Javon versus Randy.
We do not want to see Randy versus John Cena one more time.
No, one final encounter. I don't know. From NXT, like there's no one that screams, "Oh man, that they should face John Cena."
Like unless it's a call up, unless it's
Obafemi.
like an Obafemi. But really, if you bring up Obafemi, he should win the whole thing, right? And I don't think he is. I see it more likely being a Javon. I think
Ethan Page. I'm not really sure actually. Like it doesn't really make sense to have anyone in NXT be John Cena's last opponent, so I don't see them winning it. So
no, but they're in the tournament. It's right. It's to give all these people an opportunity.
Right. Yeah. For someone in NXT to face Chris Jericho or Edge in this tournament, right?
Exactly. Yeah. We go to our next match. It's Javon Evans versus Saquon Sugars with who are they called? Dark State at ringside.
Now these guys have fought before, and they mentioned on commentary that they signed around the same time. They were brought into NXT, the PC, at the same time. But Javon being on TV quicker, the whole Young OG, and then Sugars with Dark State. So I know these two have wrestled before on the independents and have seen some stuff from that. But so this was pretty cool to see them do it one-on-one, and more so like Sugars, you know, being in the group, it's kind of, you don't see necessarily he's kind of hidden or part of a team, whereas we haven't seen so much of him in just singles action.
No, not
but
at all.
I was pretty impressed with this matchup. I mean, Javon Evans, if you've listened to us, he's the best guy to watch on Tuesday nights here on NXT. I mean, every time he has a match, it's usually the show stealer. And I think that was the case again today. As much as I loved El Grande and Josh Briggs a little bit, it had some stuff I didn't like. Whereas there was some really cool stuff in this match.
So Javon starts by doing like an Undertaker dive over the top rope, taking out all of Dark State. He rolls Saquon into the ring and hits a huge flying clothesline and goes to the pin immediately. Javon then goes for his like seated top rope bounce, but gets caught into a power bomb into an atomic drop.
Ooh, is this okay? Now, throwback here. This guy is very innovative with his moves, as we'll get into even more, I'm sure. But an atomic drop, is that not a DQ? You're dropping the guy on his balls. Whenever all the old guys did it,
it's the spine, right? It's the tailbone. Yeah.
But this one's the more of like a Manhattan drop, which I never understood. But I guess you're dropping a man on his Manhattans. But like the ref is just like, it's okay, even though you just completely need a guy in the groin. Yeah. But anyways,
there's then a runner off the top rope, followed by the seated bouncy boy Javon.
The bouncy boy.
He needs names for these moves. Like a lot of them are, you know, the bit where he bounces and then hits something cool.
The flippy shit.
He does that, which sends Saquon to the outside. And that's when Dion Lennox is telling him to focus, sends him back in the ring. Cutler James is on the outside chatting shit, which distracts and allows Saquon to knee Javon from behind as we go to the commercial break. Saquon then applies a gory special to Javon.
Beautiful. One of my favorite moves in all of wrestling is the gory special into the gory bomb. And it took him a second. He like stumbled to try to get him into it. He eventually got him into it. Javon gets out of it. And by the time we came back, I think we had picture-in-picture for it. He put him in another gory special. But one of my favorite moves. Looked awesome.
Sugars is now just bullying Javon with slaps and like cocky kicks to the face. And this fires up Javon, who looks pissed, delivers a right hand. Dion then pulls Saquon out the ring to kind of give him a pep talk. And then Javon follows up with a suicide dive, taking them out, throws Saquon into the ring, hits a huge crossbody, followed by his Will Ospreay style flipping kick.
Yeah, there's like the red dot kick, which I don't know if they're still calling it that, but that kick is pretty crazy. There was this insane like bounce back German suplex on him as well, but this guy was just flying all over the place.
Sugars then leaps the top rope and goes for what I assume was like an inverted frog splash, but Javon blocks it and hits two springboard cutters when Osiris Griffin pulls Javon out the ring. Javon fights him off. He throws Cutler James into the ring steps. Dion Lennox leaps off the ring steps and gets sent crashing into the announce table. And then Javon hits the triple jump twisting senton on Sugars for the win.
Yeah, some really crazy stuff from both guys. Javon fighting all members with these dives. There was this dive towards the end. Wow, I thought he got knocked out. And he got right up. Like, he went so far that I don't know if his head smacked off the ground by the commentator's desk, but Javon seemed okay. He got back up and then he was doing like triple jump cutters and all that stuff. But wow, between Javon doing all this crazy stuff to this like torture rack spin out face buster from Sugars, which was also pretty innovative as well. So yeah, I liked what I seen from both these guys. And obviously they know each other pretty well if they've fought before, but some of the wrestling moves that these guys come up with these days, like there's obviously a lot of moves where people are taking from other dudes, but once in a while you're like, oh, that's kind of new, or I haven't seen anyone do that one in a while. And I feel that way about both these guys. But when I like Sugars, definitely. I know Dark State maybe have rubbed us the wrong way with the whole lazy story of whatever their gimmick or group is, but I think this guy's pretty good. Maybe my favorite of this whole group, I'd say.
I definitely think he's got the most about him of the four, but I was a little underwhelmed with this. I definitely wasn't as high on this.
It wasn't. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a PLE level stuff, but at least there was some cool stuff in it.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more out of Sugars. I think this was something we said we haven't seen him really. He's not in the tag team. We haven't seen much singles from him at all. There was some innovative stuff, but I don't know. Nothing really leapt out at me personally, and I just think it just made Dark State look even more like big geeks.
I mean, he beat all of them, right?
He beat all of them. He took out 4 of them, and it's these guys like. They've seemed like geeks the whole time, but I don't think they're meant to. Like, they're your tag champions. They just beat the Hardys again. So I didn't particularly like it. They're still not working for me. And Sugars definitely has something a bit more about him. But I don't know. I was hoping for a bit more from this.
I don't like whatever this gimmick is. Like, they just still don't know what it is. It's like, no one's safe. Oh, okay. All right, like it's pretty Shield. Even there was a tweet last week, Ava going back and forth with them, like kayfabe storyline, and she called them like what Kmart Shield or Kimu Shield or something. It's like it's what everyone refers to them because that's what it feels like. But so I'm assuming Leon and Javon are going to team up against them for the tag titles. So
we see Blake Monroe backstage with Ava. And Blake tells Ava that she wants her first defense to be in New York City at Gold Rush. And Ava says, well, I think your first opponent should be Sol. Blake's like, well, she's not cleared. And she's like, well, she seems pretty confident. And I feel like she'll be cleared by then. And that's when Blake's phone rings and she's reading this message. And Ava looks over and Blake tells her to stop being so nosy and says, her better half wants an exclusive interview next week.
First of all, Ava, like when you're hanging out with your friends, do you just like, oh, who's calling you? Who's calling you? Who's texting you? Who's texting you? Do friends do that? I don't know. I mean, not friends. It's your employee really here. And you're just like, oh, pretty nosy. But little things is that Blake's ringtone is her theme song.
Yes.
Very good. Very creative. Have you seen, who was it? There's a bunch of was it Mr. Iguana who got caught? His theme song was like EO Sky's theme. He's like, it's a good ringtone or something like that. But I love wrestling themes. Shawn Michaels was my first ever ringtone, so I'm in that party. But what does Blake mean by better half? She got a lover, a tag team partner.
Yeah, I don't know. Who are your thoughts?
She got like a butler or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Better half. Mina Shirakawa.
So an exclusive interview. Yeah. I guess we'll find out next week. But I've got no ideas for this one.
So she is wrestling. So Blake Monroe versus to be determined with the NXT Women's North American title. But now teasing this better half. I'm not quite sure where that is leading. So maybe she's got a sidekick, another glamorous friend or something. I'm not quite sure, but we will see.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out next week. And then we go forward to Tatum Paxley, who is crying. She's with the culling and she's saying it's all her fault that they lost the match. And Izzi says, look, I forgive you, but you can't keep making irrational decisions. You've worked so hard these 4 years to become NXT Women's Champion, but you can't keep handing out title shots and just being irrational. Tatum says, okay, from now on, I'll be much more selective on who gets title shots. But there is one more thing I have to do next week to feel satisfied.
What does that mean? Title match? JC Jane? I think it's JC Jane.
That'll be Gold Rush, though, right?
I think she's going to say, I accept your, rematch.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, that makes the most sense. Of I won't be giving out championships left and right, but she is owed one, and it's wrestling, so therefore we're going, but we're running it back. Gold Rush, I would imagine, is what that means. But
the only other thing is whether it's something to do with Lyra, but
true,
but I can't really think anything else. I think that rematch is happening. We go to our main event segment of the week. It's the Muy Grande Championship Celebration.
You've been practicing your Duolingo?
Yeah, not very good.
I saw one of those at the Halloween party Someone was a
duo, the bird,
a green owl. Yeah. And
Right.
right away I was like, oh, Duolingo.
So Ethan Page, Chelsea Green, and Alba Fire in the ring. And Ethan says, everyone hates us in locker rooms all over the world because we say things and it becomes true. We said we'd become the Triple R Mixed Tag Team Champions, and here we are, your Triple R Mixed Tag Team Champions. And I also stand before you as the greatest North American champion. And Chelsea then starts talking and almost brings up Joe Hendry's name. And Ethan says, don't say it, as they're stood in front of a giant cake. They go, don't say it because we know what will happen. He'll come out of that cake and he'll ruin everything. And then Ethan's pretty much like, you know what? Fuck it. Say his name and we'll take care of him. So they tell Alba Fire to say his name. She says, Joe Hendry. And then they're standing, looking at the cake, ready to attack it.
Yeah, it's almost like Ethan Page pulls out this giant serrated knife that he's just
cut the cake. He's just going to kill him.
Head off as if he pops out of this cake here. But I was nervous for a second.
Yeah. So the music hits. They're all looking at the cake, thinking it's going to come out. But he appears on the entrance ramp.
Was this not a bit of a letdown? He's just in the on the stage. He was like, okay.
Well, it's setting up for the next one, right? So he says they got so caught up in their egos that they ignore what real talent is, as he does his spin. And he says, I do want a shot against you, Ethan. I want a shot at the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship. And Chelsea laughs and does the classic, haha, but there's two of us and one of you. You need a partner. And he goes, well, maybe I have a partner. Maybe someone who could do the spin and wave their hands from side to side. Someone who can stand beside me and say, we believe. Who? Well, I was going to keep it a secret, but I believe in Thea. And Thea Hale pops out from the cake, throws a pie in the faces of Chelsea and Alba Fire. And then Joe comes in, smashes a Mexican piñata decoration thing over the head of Ethan Page. And then they pie Page in the face to end NXT.
Yeah, I know it's wrestling, so we gotta, it's always silly, especially in NXT Degrassi High, but this fell a little flat for me. I feel like a bit of a broken record of the Joe Hendry stuff, whereas there's been no evolution. They've just been doing the same joke over and over to the point where when WWE gets wind of something, they run it into the ground and make it not funny. That's happened like what feels like a long time ago. And this was just so lame. I love Chelsea. I love Ethan Page. Love this run, but we've been saying NXT feels like they've just been throwing things at the wall and seeing like, okay, here's a speed tournament. Here's that. Okay. Ethan Page and Chelsea, they're going to celebrate the, what tag titles is this? The mixed tag champions, AAA mixed tag titles. We're the best mixed tag AAA champions. And it's like, is the joke because half the people watching might not have known that these were actual championships? I don't know. But then to do the Joe Hendry thing and then Thea coming out of the cake, I was just like, have we not moved? Like, yeah, it just feels really lazy and almost one of those, like, I'm not saying this was the worst thing I've seen in wrestling, especially this year, but like, have we not moved on from this kind of like, I feel embarrassed to watch this kind of stuff on my wrestling. Like, again, I love Ethan Page, love Chelsea, but this was embarrassing. It's like Joe Hendry just say his name and then he walks out on the stage. It's just like awkward. And then, oh, look, she is in the cake. Like, really? Okay.
I feel I say this every week, but it's opening the book of wrestling storyline tropes. And this week they landed on, someone jumping out of a cake.
Yeah.
Compare this to essentially the Hangman Page, Tony Schiavone thing is the same kind of idea.
Sure.
But done so much more creatively.
I'm not even lying to you. I thought for a second that the Slagent was going to turn into Thea Hale because of this Hangman thing. I thought for sure that the camera was going to zoom away from her pan away from her, and when it comes back, Thea is dressed as the Slajan.
Also, like this shouldn't have been the last segment of the night, because this should have been just before a commercial break setting up the match. However, if this was like when I saw, oh, this is going to close the show, I was expecting, all right, is this a debut? Is this a return? Thea Hale's been off TV for a while, apart from last week when she had the backstage segment with these two and Joe Hendry. And we said, oh, I guess Ethan Page and Chelsea Green win this title and then they face these two. What if you just kept Thea off, didn't show her last week, and then it would be at least a genuine surprise. Oh, shit, it's Thea Hale. Thea Hale's back. But we knew as soon as Joe Hendry came out, oh, he'll partner Thea to take on these two at Gold Rush.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
It wasn't a surprise. It felt completely flat. It felt completely lazy to me. And yeah, I'm completely over Joe Hendry at this point. There's been no evolution with this character. And Paige and Chelsea are very good at doing, the comedy heel stuff. But they're capable of so much more than this as well. Yeah,
I feel like they're really been working together, and like they could be on the main roster doing this shtick, the Canada, Pro Canada, North America, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, the Joe Hendry stuff, like it's the same joke over and over. And like, sure, you've come up with some creative ways, but this dude's coming out of a fridge. This Thea's coming out of a cake. Like, okay, cool. I guess. I really don't like it. I didn't mind this episode of NXT. I thought this was such a strange way to end it.
Yeah.
Considering it was one of the most flattest segments with NXT in a long time. And again, not like the talent involved. I like them. Thea, Joe too, but the content here, the writing here is bizarre that you would just do this. I'm not even excited for that match. I don't care about the AAA mixed tag titles.
No.
I didn't when Sammy Guevara and Tainara won them. I don't care about them now. So NXT is just, it feels like that period of AEW when they were like, and then this title's on the line. It's like, okay, but what? All right. So I guess that's at Gold Rush, but sure.
Yeah. I thought, much the same. I enjoyed some stuff of this show. I didn't like that closing segment. I'm not overly excited about Ricky and Trick next week. Big Time Baxter in the chat says the state of the men's division is becoming more and more of a glaring problem for NXT. It's really been noticeable these last few weeks. Yeah, completely agree. They need to address that. Women's division is absolutely fine. Like there's so much talent in the women's division. I think you can have call-ups and you wouldn't miss a beat with the women's division. But the men's, it's like, if Trick does get called up, if Oba does get called up, what is there? It's division of Ricky Saints and Javon Evans. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. No, like it's bare bones for sure. I'm not even sure where we go after with Ricky and Trick and like who is next that I know they've done some recent signings in the PC. There's some names that, some new people that they might shuffle onto TV by the end of this year or the beginning of next year, but they got to start doing that soon. They got to find something else because the undercard of everything else has been lacking. It's always been like, okay, Oba's the champ for such a long time, and everyone else just kind of down here, not necessarily up on that level. So I'm not quite sure. I was reading about Tatanka's kids. Put them on NXT. Did you hear about this?
No.
Triple H seeing Tatanka's kids. I don't know if this is legit, but Dirt Sheet web Facebook post or whatever. It's like Tatanka's kids are going to get into wrestling, and these kids look jacked. So
okay,
we'll see. Maybe put them on NXT. Another bloodline. But no, just like bring in some of the new people that you've signed. They did it. We've seen that they've shuffled in Javon quite well in the last 2 years. So like,
I mean, honestly, I think it's a real shame that they didn't send Ray Phoenix to NXT when he came in because he's barely doing anything on the main roster. Yeah, Penta's doing fine, but think if you had Phoenix in this division in there with Ricky and Javon and Trick and all that, I think that would have added something to this and would have really like showcasing the talent that he is because he's just treading water until they eventually put him with Penta on the main roster.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Of like he would have been someone who could have been champion, been putting on bangers. People, it would have gathered interest into NXT as well as giving him something to do and be, the big fish, small pond kind of thing. So you could take anyone. You could take so many different people, especially on main roster, that could easily fit into that like role that they've done in the past. I'm not saying I liked when they did Dolph Ziggler, but if you took someone who's not necessarily doing a whole lot and then focus them here, and maybe that could help. I'm not sure, but we need the roster is not deep in NXT. I feel when it comes to like some of especially the men's, it's definitely still a shallow pool there. But yeah, okay episode, not my favorite. Some stuff I liked, some good wrestling, but nothing necessarily to write home about. But looking ahead at Gold Rush in the 2 weeks, it's Blake versus someone for the North American Championship. So next week she'll talk to her Does she just talk to herself? Is that what she means? Like she's just going to be all glammed up and she doesn't want to defend this title?
She's going to do an exclusive interview in the mirror? Is that what it's
like? Her entrance is the mirror, right?
Yeah, so, you might be on something there.
So that's definitely something. We got Zaria versus either Fallon or Skylar Ray. I said that right.
Yeah.
Kalani, Jordan Grace, Lei Ying Lee, and Ethan and Chelsea versus Joe and Thea Hale now added. So, okay, I guess. And then deadline in like a month or so. So, I don't know. We got some stuff to look forward to, but we shall see. With next week being the last man standing match. Trick and Rick. One last time. So we will be live next week, just like we were tonight here on Post Wrestling at 10:05 p.m. We'll talk all about Trick and Rick and the Last Man Standing. We'll talk about the speed tournament. We'll talk about the culling, and we'll talk about El Grande Americano and Jasper Troy.
Oh yeah.
Very excited.
Can't wait.
I'm pumped. Did we have any feedback tonight?
I don't think so.
Everyone took the night off.
Yeah.
They didn't want to talk to us. They hate us.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, hopefully you don't hate us, and we love you and appreciate you for listening and checking us out. We are up next. We are Poisonrana. Give us a follow. Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook. We have a Facebook group, a chat even. Give us a follow. Poisonrana.ca and patreon.com/Poisonrana. Check out all the other shows. What's Next, our retro NXT reviews, movie reviews, and so much more. Check it out, and we'll be live this Sunday, right? We're going to talk all about what's happening on wrestling. AEW's, SmackDown.
We've got the Blood and Guts Advantage matches tomorrow on Dynamite, right?
Okay, ooh, nice.
And the fallout from SNME on SmackDown.
Yes, some SmackDown talk, some all the other stuff. New Japan selling a lot of tickets for Tanahashi's last match. We'll talk about that in the Big Tokyo Dome and so much more. So catch us live Sunday. If you can't, the audio will be up on the Poisonrana free feed. So appreciate everyone out there in the post-wrestling universe listening. We will talk very, very soon. But that is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And I still believe.
Ahoy!